looks very cliched, but yeah, we are too much surrounded by the noise of maybe our own lack of confidence or of the other insecurities that people are putting it on us on their own name. But it's important to know what you really like and to stick to it, and to keep the patience to keep going, because a lot of people get lost in the volume of the books that are there, and indeed it is voluminous, but you need to be very particular about the areas that need to be carved out, and the notes are to be made in a very precise manner. Interacting with so many people, I really realized that everybody has a spark, and there is an infinite amount of possibilities that one could really unravel if there is the desire and the determination to do that.
Right. So, hello and welcome. Hi, Tanishi. How are you doing?
Thank you, sir. I'm doing good, sir.
So, Tanishi, could you just briefly tell us about your UPSC journey so far? How many attempts you've given and your rank, your optional?
Sure. So I basically come from Agra, this district in UP, and this was my sixth and my last attempt. So I'd given all my attempts, and my optional is economics optional. And yeah, the journey has definitely been a topsy-turvy one though. But I think your support and the support of my parents and everybody around made it possible.
I think more than me, it was obviously, as you say, Shashank sir.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I think I was talking more to him, and I think I took a lot of academic guidance from him. And also, like, he would push me because definitely I had my low periods, and I had, and I had faced difficult times. So that time he would kind of push me. Tanishi, koi nahi, itna kyun डर रही हो, हो जाएगा. That kind of a
So
thing.
Shashank sir does that. मतलब he does that to me also. I also have my low periods. So he's like, नहीं कोई बात नहीं, हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा. He's like that kind of a person.
I
So
remember like listening to your also. Like sometime I had gone through all these videos, and I think he only pushed you to give your last attempt, and like, or maybe he was telling me on the call. I don't remember. But even
So I think me and Shashank sir, we met for the first time in 2018. I had just given my, I'd just gotten selected and then messed up the rank because of the case and everything. So Shashank sir is the guy who's leading that case,
exactly, exactly.
right? So that's how
So,
I met him. And he was pretty chill. He's like, अच्छा attempt दे रहे हो तो दे दो फिर बात करते हैं आराम से.
exactly. What is such a chill person? Like, कोई नहीं लौट के ले रहे हो जाएगा.
Hmm. So when did you start? When was your first attempt? Which year?
It was around 2017-18.
Hmm.
I just done my like studies, and that after that I'd given my attempts.
So
So it
what
started
was
from
your
then.
educational background? What did you study?
I'd done my bachelor's and my master's in economics from Sri Ram College of Commerce and then Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Hmm.
And after that, like I got into the preparation.
Right. So, you had an economics background. Now, let's say somebody who's just getting started with economics optional. What would you advise them कि भाई कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं?
Sure. So I think the first important thing is to list down the sources
Hmm.
and to be very specific about the PYQ demands, because a lot of people get lost in the volume of the books that are there. And
Hmm.
indeed, it is voluminous, but you need to be very particular about the areas that need to be carved out, and the notes are to be made in a very precise manner
Hmm.
so that they can be repeatedly revised. And also, there's a lot of role of graphs in economics and
Hmm.
charts and numbers, and like every economist comes with their own set of data and facts, and so all of those things actually are important besides the other things that we hear in the general economics,
Hmm.
general optional stories. These extra things actually make a difference,
So,
so putting them in every question deliberately helps.
definitely. Did you take any coaching for economics optional or were you preparing by yourself?
I took help.
Where did you take help from?
I took help from Rohit sir, Ravindra sir. So
Hmm.
I took help from a lot of people.
Okay. So in general, why? Because see, if somebody watches this and they have economics optional, we would want them to know okay, bhai, where the guidance is available, right? And genuinely, what happens is that it is people like you who have gone that path before, they're the best guides to this. So, Tanishi, if you had to say, uh, why did you give 6 attempts?
I think I would put it down in two, three words. Firstly, I think I was getting the support from my family,
Hmm.
which I think I was lucky because a lot of people don't get that.
Hmm.
And also, I had this desire and this keen desire to really contribute in some way and really do something with life. So, and I was seeing that, there are mistakes that I'm doing. And also, I started my preparation before the typical digital age that we were in. So initially there were a lot of mistakes,
Hmm.
but going forward, like, coming in the new era, how the entire landscape of coaching changed and how the pedagogy and everything changed, I got to know so many more things. It kept me interested and going.
Right. Did you ever think that you'll give 6 attempts when you started?
I think nobody thinks that.
I completely agree with you. People stumble on it, right? Ki nobody wants to ever think of that, I'm going to spend 5 years over here. It's just like, okay,
But
maybe one more attempt.
yeah, I was also thinking कि नहीं देना है. I also started teaching in Delhi
Hmm.
University, but then I saw support. I saw people saying चलो इतना कर लिया तो एक बार और कर ही लो. मतलब, so then I
Right.
thought ठीक
So
है.
I believe you got AIR 386 this time. And
Yes.
अभी marksheet आई नहीं है. But again, I would love to hear more about economics optional from you when that comes out. But if you had to say, what were the things that really helped you cross the line? What would you point out?
Okay. Well, I think the first most important thing was the attitude to keep going and to work irrespective of whatever results come,
Hmm.
and to really like give your best. That was the first thing, and that kept me going. And that is the fuel, because a lot of times the fuel people find is like through the results or through the like through the positive things that come. So I think making yourself detached from that really helped.
Hmm.
And also, the next important thing was to figure out more specifically with respect to what the things are floating in the market with respect to the topper answer sheets, how they are writing their answers,
Hmm.
and how I need to modulate them, and constantly seeing the areas where I need improvement by tracking those things. So these two things, constant feedback and improvement and tracking, helped me in really
So,
crossing
any
the margin.
particular topics that you found very helpful, which you would like to point out?
I think Shruti Sharma ma'am's ethics copy, that
Hmm.
is one thing that really helped me. And there's this Tanu or something like that's her name, the economics optional topper. Like
Hmm.
that was very like long back, but I
Hmm.
think till today her copy is very relevant in a lot of ways. Like how she, the beauty in which things. I mean, if you look at her copy, it looks as if it's literally flowing so easily.
Hmm.
So that for economics optional helped. These two names I can very clearly remember.
I think Tanu, let's just check. Tanu, ma'am,
I think
economics.
it's not something, or is it art? I think she's got rank 10 or something, and that's way too back, 2016 or 17 or like 15. Don't even
AIR
remember.
10, economics optional.
Very
Okay,
tough to.
very difficult.
I'm little
You
bad
have
with
given
names
me,
also.
you have given me very little things. CSE 22. No, you're saying she was very, way
It was
long back.
way back. I think I can just like get back to you in some time, like because I don't remember the exact, because it's way too back. When I started the preparation,
Hmm.
that time I kind of used to follow.
Asa,
So
she had already been a topper then.
yeah, that's what. She had given two attempts. In the
Hmm.
first one, she got IPS or maybe some like lower rank. In the second one, she got like under 10, 20 something.
ओके लवली तो फिर ऐसे तो हमको तेजस्वी राणा
Tejasvi Rana. Yeah.
लवली my Google skills have not rested. So Tejasvi Rana, please, anybody who wants to check
Actually,
out.
something T was there and Ana something like the end part. It was hazy memory though.
मतलब and she got AR 12,
So
so
something she was close. Yeah, 10, 11, 12.
approximation चल रहा है ठीक है काफी सारा.
But that was like initially like so
Hmm.
that impact got like
It does. मतलब
imprinted.
see, who you see at the beginning few attempts of your journey, I feel they have a very big impact on how it goes throughout.
Exactly.
क्योंकि मतलब I saw Gaurav Agarwal who
Yeah, I remember AR 1
2013 AIR1
2013
and
to 12, yeah.
I had the good fortune of talking to him also. So
Hmm,
he was a very, very analytical guy and like broke
exactly.
things down brilliantly. So that's how I always approach my preparation. कि अच्छा ठीक है क्या
Hmm,
है कैसा है तोड़ के देखते हैं क्या होता है नहीं होता है. Maybe
hmm.
if I followed somebody else, I would have gone down a different path maybe.
Exactly.
So apart from Tejasvi Rana, who were the others in Shruti Sharma ma'am? Anybody else?
There was this AIR 6 Vishakha, I think.
Yeah, Shakha Yadav, I think.
Yes, even her ethics copy was very nice. I saw that copy also.
What about other GS papers?
GS papers, Ishita, Ishita Rathi, I think, GS2, I remember I saw that. Shruti
Hmm.
Sharma ma'am again for GS1.
Hmm.
Excellent copy, GS1 again.
Yeah.
Hmm. I think, yeah, GS1 I've covered, GS2 I've covered, 4 I've covered, 3, so it's weird. Nobody knows what's happening there.
Three में I think it's just like so many subjects that are coming up that it becomes difficult to have a grasp of कि भाई अच्छा best क्या है कहाँ है.
Even UPSC has prepared the syllabus कि जो 1 to 4 में नहीं गया है, वो 3 में डाल दो
Three में
बस.
है. I like to call it a catch-all paper कि जो रह गया
Exactly.
वो वहाँ है सारा और उस कारण से फिर मतलब it's very weird कुछ भी कहीं.
Yeah. Exactly. So they're taking 1, 2, 3 like on
Hmm.
the academic part, and then the 4 is obviously to test you in a very different way. Although, of course, everything brings down to your answer writing stuff, and like what happens on the paper is different,
Yeah.
but the design of the paper is a little different. So in that sense, 3 is a messy design, I think.
I think in that same sense, I was having a conversation with somebody, an old friend of mine. He was like, "Ki bhai, the ethics paper is not there to, impart ethics into the civil service or anything of that sort because, that's not something a paper can do. The
Exactly.
ethics paper is there so that nobody has plausible deniability. That, I did
Exactly.
not know that this is an ethical issue. You read
Yeah.
that for the
You
thing.
read that. Yeah. But it's very weirdly bypassed though the intention.
I think that's how it is. Nowadays, it's quite in vogue, na, right? Ki, मतलब you game the system, you game the paper, and like वो होगा भी when you have this sort of a competition.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
Tanishi, but I know you gave at least two mains. Did you give
Yes.
more, or like how many mains did you give? How did that experience go?
So I gave 2 mains, and the first mains experience taught me a lot with respect to the mistakes I was doing
Hmm.
and with respect to the amount of effort that I need to put more.
Hmm.
I really figured out that, yes, let's say some areas on GS3 definitely were weak.
Hmm.
And I figured out that, what really needs to do in one needs to do in ethics. Although my marks are not really out right now, so I'm not sure if all those things that I applied right now would
Hmm.
have worked or not. बिकॉज समटाइम्स लाइक मार्क्स भी कभी कभी ऊपर नीचे आ जाते हैं जो आप
Yeah.
एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे होते हो वो वहाँ चीजें हो जाती हैं so but the part was yes that I felt that I need to work on my content also,
Hmm.
get those extra like value addition parts, like get those extra fringes and get those extra structures right,
Hmm.
and also work on the presentation part, structuring my answers well.
Hmm.
And sometimes my conclusions would not be like लिखने के लिए लिख दिए हैं क्योंकि पेपर खत्म करना है टाइम ऐसा जा रहा है
Yeah.
so sometimes these extra threads I thought I need to tighten them better, so that was my learning from my last mains to this mains.
And but did your work experience help along the way? Teaching people economics and like sort of once you're teaching, I feel a lot of other things also get impacted in a very positive manner. In that your communication becomes a lot more succinct. You become a lot better at, storytelling, I feel. Because in order to teach well, you have to be a good storyteller.
I agree, sir. I definitely agree.
So what were those some of those things that you gained from your job that helped you also?
I think firstly it would be a lot of soft skills like you're telling
Hmm.
that, and interacting with so many people I really realized that everybody has a spark and there is an infinite amount of possibilities that one
Hmm.
could really unravel if there is the desire and the determination to do that. So
Hmm.
that also fueled me back that अगर ये भी है तो मैं भी कर सकते हैं. So that also helped me in
Hmm.
a way. And of course academically I was teaching economics, so concepts optional के थोड़े वहाँ पे मतलब और strengthen हो जाते हैं.
Hmm.
But I think when it comes down to really writing your mains exam, that time you need very different skills क्योंकि time में लिखना है, कैसे
Hmm.
structure करना है, number of words, graphs and all of that. So with the bent of mind, you start thinking better and your concepts get enriched. That was definitely like the added advantage.
So, any other space that you felt that you had improved on or worked out in terms of, maybe, this is an area that I really, really need to improve on from one means to the other? मतलब, where did you get beaten in the last means, 22 mein?
I think, like I told you, my loose threads were too many with
Hmm.
respect to the conclusion, with respect to structure, with
Hmm.
respect to some part of content. Like कुछ content अच्छा है, लेकिन इतना इतना अच्छा नहीं है कि मतलब एक 10 marks का बहुत अच्छा आंसर लिख सकते हैं.
Hmm.
So there were a lot of loose threads that I have left in almost every paper. तो धीरे धीरे आई रिविजिटेड एवरीथिंग एंड आई फिगर्ड आउट दैट ठीक है ये वाला एरिया थोड़ा अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करना है, बिकॉज लास्ट टाइम ये क्वेश्चन उस वक्त मुझे इतना अच्छे से मैं नहीं लिख पा रही थी. आई कुड नॉट रिकॉल बेटर, आई हैड नॉट प्रैक्टिस्ड इट बेटर. So this time to the this time from the last time was working on each loose thread
हम्म.
with respect to structuring firstly, with respect to conclusions, and with respect to value enrichment.
ओके, सो वैल्यू एनरिचमेंट के लिए आपने structuring and conclusions, I'm assuming you took a lot from the topic copies that we were talking about.
Yes,
What
exactly.
about value enrichment? What did you do for that?
Some subjects I visited altogether, like from the scratch, because I thought that, like, especially some areas in my optional, so there are
Hmm.
like 5, 7 subjects in paper one only. And one paper out of that one subject I thought was very weak from the base itself,
Hmm.
because I could not do calculations like mathematical ones and apply those concepts. So there, I think every subject had a different approach. For
Hmm.
that, I had to work everything from the scratch. For other subjects, let's talk about the small subjects. Let's say about GS2. So I
Hmm.
figured out that I knew basic, but yes, cases कैसे ऐड करने हैं,
Hmm.
कैसे आगे जाके आर्टिकल्स में इंटीग्रेशन कितना स्मूथ होना चाहिए आंसर्स में. So all of that, like it came through iterations, it came through notes का mismatch करके अपना थर्ड नोट बनाना जहाँ पे
Hmm.
वो चीजें डिटेल में लिखी जा सकती हैं. So that kind of a thing.
So did you make notes? मतलब when did you make notes?
I'm not a very notes fan. I don't believe in making a lot of notes, and
Okay.
especially now that everything has been given by
Hmm.
everybody. So
Hmm.
you don't need to do that work. A lot of work can be done. But just very final few things जो मुझे लगता
Hmm.
है कि मेरे revision में help करेगा. So
Hmm.
only those things which I think my mind needs.
But again, do keep in mind that somebody who's giving just one attempt as opposed to you and me who've given 6 attempts.
Yeah,
हमारे साथ एक डिफरेंस क्या होता है ना कि a lot of things have already gone into the background because you've been here for so long.
I agree. I agree. I agree. So I do have a recency bias, though. I would have to say that. I have to say that.
Hmm.
And I think the mind is myopic in a way.
Hmm.
Like,
Because
everything, like,
it does
like,
happen कि भाई मैंने last attempt में I didn't give a lot of notes and this that XYZ and because of that you feel that way. But what I felt over time is that I would have gained from better notes in some of my few earlier attempts if I had them then. बट प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि तब मुझे लगता था कि भाई नोट सही नहीं है, बट बाय द टाइम आई फिगर्ड आउट कि अच्छा नोट सही है तो फिर मतलब ठीक है कुछ कुछ हो गया एंड देन लाइक एज यू से नाउ एवरीबडी इज गिविंग यू अ लॉट ऑफ मटेरियल विच इज अवेलेबल. बट इसके साथ एक सेपरेट प्रॉब्लम आता है विच इज द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ प्लेंटी, राइट? हाउ डू यू
I
फिगर आउट विच आर द गुड नोट्स?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think two, three things. एक बार ये like people talk about good things and like generally the good things do find their own shine also. So good things don't get suppressed. I mean laws of nature do work positively no matter the other things around. So एक बार आप वो figure out कर लो, then you stick to them and make them your own, internalize them better, and then
नहीं, सो आई
going
थिंक
further.
दैट इज द जो मतलब what you're skipping over and jumping around, that first part is what is most important for a lot of people who are just starting their preparation. कि how do I know that this is good?
Okay, so for me, I think for me it was clear to make that choice because I'd seen a lot of people
Yeah.
and I had seen my like story because I was in the thing for so many years. I
Hmm.
tried them, failed, and
Then you
he
figured
and
out by hit and trial कि अच्छा ये सही है ये नहीं है.
yes, yes, yes. But also like that's what I'm saying. Good things in the market do find their shine also.
Hmm.
So just figure out the things which are actually doing good and thing is that once you figure that out, still you'll find a lot of noises. Ki this is better, or
Hmm.
this is even the thing that you've chosen is not great.
Hmm.
That will definitely happen. But the point is that to know when to stop your search. Because I knew that I did not start with great notes. Even the
Hmm.
notes that I made in my class were not great when I started, even my foundation thing or whatever. But
Hmm.
I said, "Ki, this is mine now. Now this is mine. I've internalized them enough."
Hmm.
So first is to stick to them and to have a very iterative approach because then I would see कि question solve हो रहा है and इतने से हो रहा है and then the new knowledge that I kept adding on and I think my
Hmm.
experience has also been like a very long thing, so this approach that I had may
Hmm.
not go with everybody, but this particularly was like something that I did because I kept a lot of trust in whatever I'm doing. I'm
Hmm.
like I there is a opportunity cost also. I cannot
Hmm.
go hell bent on searching and trusting other people and changing my notes. because some people are saying good or bad about it.
Hmm.
Just whatever your one thing is, stick to that. After some amount of search, every other search has a huge opportunity cost,
Hmm.
and then to keep working on that and make it better by by the problems you solve. So I think the best way to check is, can you solve problems? Can you solve the questions? Are you able to crack the questions?
Hmm.
Not to really see the market में क्या चल रहा है, to get them on like real test by yourself. Because sometimes good things also don't work for you
Yeah.
because maybe you're not internalizing it better. Like I had some problems with few subjects which are particularly weak for me. So good things were not working. But then I thought कि मेरे दिमाग में ऐसे ही समझ में आता है मुझे ये चीजें. So
Hmm.
I wanted like this. So the thing is that first, you choose whatever you choose, but keep trust, and then to actually check yourself by the questions, rather than going by every name कि ऐसा है.
I think
Everybody
that's
is
a
finding
great suggestion because well, the end goal तो वही है ना, you have to crack a paper.
exactly. And to reiterate, if like whatever thing is getting missed, just add it there. And when you make mistakes and then you add, that helps you to even remember better, rather than getting a lot of
Absolutely.
added stuff already and then getting those leakages in your mind, which is always like that.
Yeah.
So it's better to test them yourself, make mistakes, and learn them like that. So that will stay with you.
I think that I completely agree with that because once you made a mistake, it sticks around for longer.
Exactly. And nobody cares that, did you read that from this or there? It's your mistake. So it's your
Yeah.
experience, and your experience stays with you. So I
I
think
think
it's as good as to stay real with the process and real, just to trust the process and stay real and true to that. You'll
hmm.
eventually figure out, and no notes are good or bad. How you're using them is the thing about it.
So one more thing I want to ask you now that you pointed out something, maybe you have a recency bias, is that I think the first two, three attempts, you didn't make it through prelims.
Ah, yeah, I did not.
So what kept you coming back? Well, why give another attempt?
Uh, I think in my initial attempts, I did not. I just figured out whenever I failed that, oh, I did not know this. Oh my
Hmm.
God, that feeling that I did not know this. Okay, maybe I should try that.
Hmm.
So that actually kept me going, and then every time making mistakes and exploring new areas kept me interested. And like I said, like I was always teaching thoda thoda since
Hmm.
always.
Yeah.
Even in my initial attempts, also some informal small things I would be doing. So something or the other I would doing to sustain myself and do. But the fact that I was learning so much and the process kept me interested, so that's how it went.
I think that's a very wonderful way to put it. I feel ki, well, you were just interested in the process. You wanted to learn more, and because of that, one way or another, okay, you figured something out, and then you want to learn more.
Of
And
course, of course, there were like issues ki nahi ho raha, things were
hmm.
going. That is also going. The noise is always there.
So how
But
did you
yeah,
deal with that? Because
I think
sometimes that noise gets overwhelming.
I think I had good support, and then I thought कि अभी मजा आ रहा है. Like it's important to enjoy what you're doing in life rather than to settle with something and not enjoy. Because I
Hmm.
did take up small jobs also before, but I could not enjoy them, and I actually left them. So I
Hmm.
joined something for 1 month, and I like left, and then now I'm like I don't have an experience on my page also because I've left that in 2 months, and I've wasted a year where I could prepare.
Hmm.
So this constant juggle where I would join some places and I did not land up finding my interest and
Hmm.
sustainability like to continue. So it just brought me back. It's not like I was loving the preparation, but the moment I ventured out, I thought, okay, I'm getting bored. So
So this is also like I during my preparation also I used to skip around and try and figure out कि अच्छा छोड़ो यार मतलब नौकरी करके देखते हैं ये करके देखते हैं. I worked with a number of institutes. I worked with startups, and what I also feel over there is that we get so comfortable in the preparation wala zone that it becomes difficult to then step out of it. What do you think?
it's not about your comfort, but it's also about the practical reality. So the way the skills that jobs need and the way the upgradation is happening.
Hmm.
Like any good BTech graduate in a 2022 batch or 2024 batch would not be that relevant in a 2026 interview. Because in 2025, also the skills and the job market and the landscape is also
It's
changing so
absolutely changing
fast.
rapidly, and what I feel is ki irrespective of that, the longer you stay out of the job market, the more you feel out of your depth when you go and look for a job.
It's also like the kind of jobs you're hunting. So If you're looking for
True,
a very
fair.
corporate, a very
Hmm.
IT and a very that kind of a profile, you would feel that. But if you know how to map your skills and
Hmm.
to map the places, maybe you find that satisfaction. But yeah, in all these kind of places, you'll find yourself irrelevant very soon, maybe in a year or so also.
So, like, how did you map your skills? How did you find out, I want to go into teaching, and like, how did that process work?
I was thinking of doing a PhD also,
Hmm.
and so that thing was always there at the back of my mind.
You've cleared Net
And
JRF also, I'm assuming.
yes, yes. So and that those things also happened eventually. Like while I was preparing, I thought नहीं करना है तो ये कर लेते हैं तो फिर ये try
Hmm.
करते हैं. So all of those things also happened that time. Then I cracked those things. मैंने बोला
Hmm.
चलो यही कर लेते हैं. फिर लगा कि चलो ये वापस आ जाते हैं. So all the backup thing was that only maybe to do a PhD or something like that. So and then economics, I was always like doing it. So this close mapping was there already.
So I think that's a great way to go about it. क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं after so many attempts you have to have some sort of a backup, right? Because as you say, it becomes difficult if you're going out and looking for an IT type job जहाँ पे हर साल में हर 6 महीने में with these AI tools, the requirements are changing.
Exactly,
It's very
exactly.
stressful when you go and think about that.
Yeah, like the practical realities change.
Right. So I think we'll call it a wrap. From you, Tanishi, I would just want, like, if somebody is just starting out their preparation, this is the first video that they're seeing, what would you advise to them?
The only thing I would want to say is that to give your best because it looks very cliched. But yeah, we are too much surrounded by the noise of maybe our own lack of confidence or of the other insecurities that people are putting it on us on their own name.
Hmm.
But it's important to know what you really like and to stick to it and to keep the patience to keep going because it's important to so it's like when you want to have a flower, you don't think about the flower, you think about the seed, you think about the water, you think about the sunlight. So the flower is a natural outcome.
Yeah.
And maybe God wants to give you a garden, who knows. So it's not important to stay fixated to that reality of the flower, but to
Hmm.
keep your process, keep trust there and keep your patience and to enjoy what you're doing. uh, Maybe good days are not far enough.
I think that's a very positive note to end on. Thank you, Tanishi, for your time, and congratulations one more time.
Thank you so much. I'm indeed grateful to you and Shashank sir for all your guidance. Thank you so much once again.